because women want both. They want guys that they're attracted to pursue them relentlessly, and they also want guys that they're not attracted to never talk to them.
Disney's boy trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months, multiple sources tell Variety, for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way.
Alright.
Oh, really? Tell me, why would you have to do something like that? I mean, you've spent years telling us that men are irrelevant now, that nobody needs or wants those mean, stinky boys polluting.
Yep, there it is, guys. And that's what happens. Is that you make this content, and you make this content for an audience that doesn't exist. Like, they think they can just shift Star Wars to being a girl franchise. You gotta be fucking retarded to believe that.
Culture with their toxic masculinity, that male and pale is stale, that the future is female. Why do you care about attracting men to your brand all of a sudden?
Thunderbolts of flop. Flop. Oh. Fuck.
And therein lies the rub, dear viewer. You might utterly despise men and everything they represent, but when it comes to that increasingly uncomfortable meeting with the accountants every few months, well, it turns out that you kind of need them. Especially young men, who seem to be quite a powerful demographic these days.
Well, they are. They're a massive demographic, and they also spend a lot of money, too. Like, the thing is that there's a lot of people that do this. The reason why is that they don't make shows for men anymore. That's the problem. They make them for general audiences. And if you want to make a show for guys, you have to make it for guys. And if a show is really, really good, it will transcend that audience. But you got to do it in that direction. Base chuds on top. No, I'm telling you, like, that's how it is.
Let's see what else this stunning and brave article has to say, shall we? Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns. Oh, come on! Okay.
I think that's probably true, honestly. I think it is. A lot of guys that are younger, they definitely got one shot by COVID. Like, imagine graduating high school in 2019, or 2020. Like, you're set up in a situation now where you're totally fucking isolated from society. You spend those years where, like, you're supposed to be hanging out with your friends, like, after high school, like, in college or whatever, going to parties, and you spend all that, like, and you're fucking quarantined, literally. Yeah, that's gonna be a huge problem. That's gonna negatively affect people a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there before this COVID, journalistic retardation goes...
True, but, like, COVID multiplied mental illness in the country, I think, by 3x. I think at 3x mental illness. I don't think we've recovered from it either.
Any further.
Real bad.
Let's be clear about one thing. Young men were not hampered in their formative years by the lockdowns, or the patriarchy, or global...
I do think that they were... I do think lockdowns negatively affected everybody, and I think lockdowns were a factor. I do. But, like, sure. But, like, it's also women, too.
Warming, or social injustice, or any of the other bullshit excuses you're gonna try to throw in.
I just think that, like, guys, you're a young guy, like, do you really want to watch two girls that have every privilege in the world talk about how bad men are? Why the fuck would you want to watch that as a guy? Like, you just take a step back and just ask yourself the common sense, obvious question. Why the fuck do I want to watch a bunch of bitches sit around and talk about how I'm bad? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course not. Yeah, it's some cuck simp shit.
To obfuscate the truth. They were hampered by an entertainment media complex that spent most of the past decade systematically trying to obliterate them from modern culture.
Exactly, yeah.
Insulted, deconstructed, mocked, lectured, misrepresented, gaslit into believing their every natural instinct was wrong and evil, and simultaneously labelled as useless and irrelevant, but also somehow the cause of every negative thing that ever happens in the world, depending on which explanation is most expedient.
I'm so
it's so obvious, right? I mean, like, anytime that I see something like that, I immediately think it's gonna be garbage, bro. Like, I do. Like, I'm sorry, like, you thought Star Wars. Star Wars is basically just a medieval knight film with laser swords, okay? Like, where people are literally cutting each other's arms off. You think you're gonna make this into a story that girls like? What are you, fucking retarded? Like, really? How can you be that stupid?
I'm tired. I thought I just needed a night's sleep, but it's more than that.
And every single time they've dared to defend themselves or push back in this completely one-sided war, they've been dismissed as sexist, misogynistic idiots and bullied or attacked into silence.
This is the reason why anime and manga is so popular now. Is because, and this is the reason why games from China are growing so much, and like non-Western culture games are so popular, is that I think that there is a huge, like, I don't want to consume content that's made by people that have some sort of lingering resentment towards me. And I think that a lot of people feel that way. So I see something like this, and it's so obvious why it's happening.
Hopelessly stacked against them that not only can they never be allowed to win, but they'll be actively punished for even trying in the first place. They finally decided, fuck it, I'm just not playing anymore. And they hit back with the most powerful weapon
left. Like, why would you want to watch, like, for example, like, why would you want to watch She-Hulk if you could watch Demon Slayer? Or you could watch Vinland Saga as a guy? Like, there's literally zero reason to want to do that.
Than their arsenal, their wallets. If companies like Disney decide to use their platform to beat young men over the head with the message that everything male is inherently
I think Solo Leveling is a great example. Like, Solo Leveling, this is the male power fantasy personified. It is. If you want, and it was the most, I think right now it's the most popular anime on Crunchyroll. Like, it's super, super popular. People love it. And so, really, I mean, so like, how is it that the Japanese have been able to figure this out, and you used to have this figured out, but now you forgot it? I think that the real truth is that they didn't forget it. They just don't want to accept that it's real. And I hope, like, I'm so proud of all of the young guys for just totally tapping out of this weird feminized cuck bullshit where they're constantly submitted to humiliation rituals, like Luke Skywalker turning into like fucking like goat milk eating like bitch boy. It's embarrassing.
Then I guess young men just won't watch their stuff anymore. It's not exactly rocket science, but holy fuck. This article and others like it will explore every possible explanation except the simplest and most obvious one. And I think we know why. It actually kind of reminds me of all those articles cropping up on feminist websites these days decrying the lack of male attention after those very same sites spent
Men just leave women alone. Okay?
Complaining about men being too forward, too assertive, too interested, too creepy, and gosh darn it, why can't they just leave us all alone?
Leave me alone.
Gee, I wonder why they're not interested in dating anymore. It's a total
it's because women want both. They want guys that they're attracted to pursue them relentlessly, and they also want guys that they're not attracted to never talk to them. Like, this is the issue that a lot of people have. And, like, you can see this dichotomy that's represented in a lot of these romance novels, where it's, like, usually an aggressive, assertive man, but this man just happens to be a billionaire vampire who happens to also be very attractive. Like, that's the difference.
History to me too, ladies. The irony is that Disney already had access to some of the biggest and most successful male-focused brands in history. And yes, both Star Wars and Marvel were decidedly male brands.
100% for guys. Like, Star Wars is 100%. It's not even a question.
That doesn't mean the ladies couldn't enjoy them too, and many did in fact, but if I had to choose a gender most likely to gravitate towards a franchise about space battles, adventure, ships and technology, heroism and epic struggles
and also, by the way, brutal violence where people are getting cut in half. This is a guy thing. It is.
Fate of the universe, yeah, it's gonna be men. And that right there is perfectly okay. Men are allowed to have stuff that they like, and a lot of the time, that stuff is going to be quite different from what women like. The problem is that only one side is ever expected to compromise and make concessions to accommodate the other, and
That's exactly the problem. He's totally right about this. It's that, like, anything that men like, men are expected to compromise and default to what women like. But I think that when men express that they like something, women usually attack them.
A little hint here, it's not women. Like, could you imagine for 1 second if they did a reboot of Sex and the City? Sorry, wait, another reboot. Only this time half the female characters were gender swapped, the glamour and sophistication of the New York social scene was replaced with muscle cars and guns and girls in bikinis, and every episode had to include some tedious subtext about how difficult modern life is for men to navigate. I don't think it would go down very well. The bigger problem was the active sabotage, marginalization, destruction, and outright pussification of the male characters to make—
Here it is. Yes. And so that's the issue, is that it's not a problem for you to make a movie or a story that is women-centric. But if you do that, and you also do it at the expense of male representation, and you make men look like they are incompetent, like, this is a good question, right? How many of these, like, fucking comedies and, like, of these sitcom shows is the man in the sitcom intelligent, like, morally good, the provider of the household, and not the butt of every joke? Zero, basically, right? Zero. So there's always some way or another that usually the guy is a retard and the wife or the mother is the smart one that's measured and intelligent and normal. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they're always the punching bag. Yeah, that's the problem. And so a lot of guys don't like that. So they would they rather watch that, or would they rather watch Spy Family? There you go. Easy fucking decision. Instant easiest decision of your life. It's so easy to get guys to watch something. It's so easy to get guys to be interested in something. Why is it that you have to reinvent the wheel every time?
Give them the things that they enjoy, and you'll be surprised how quickly they come around.
Like garbage.
On the other hand, ignore and attack them, and well, I think we've seen where that road leads.
Yep.